You are now tuned in to the motherfucking Ambition Hour podcast, blazing through your speakers on Worth the Wait Radio. You ready?
5, 4.
Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, Audii 3000, and this is episode 41. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's episode. This is Enter the 41 Chambers of the Ambition Hour podcast. I am so excited. If you have tuned in to any episode of the Ambition Hour podcast, thank you. And if this is your first time tuning into the Ambition Hour podcast, I want to welcome you to the family. And I also want you to join the family. How do you join the family, you may ask? All you got to do is subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell on the side. That way you can join not just the family but also notification gang. And if you're listening to us on SoundCloud or Apple, all you gotta do there as well is just hit the subscribe button or follow us on either platform. Thank you for those of you who are listening to us on SoundCloud. If you're watching us, hey, hi. And also remember, we also have the WTWrecords.com website where you can find all things WTW. We also have things that you guys can buy. We have sweaters, we have the capsule, what is it that you called it, the dub? The dub capsule. You can get that's for your medicine. You can put your medicine with a WTW, logo on there. You can get a sweater, a shirt, all things WTW. And I'm really excited because this week was such a good week. I have been off of Instagram. It's my second week off of being Instagram. So this week I really had to look for information and really do my research to kind of come up with all the different topics that I have for you guys today. I'm so excited. I have House Bits and CAB in the building. Shout out to the boys for being here. They're my audio visual and my hype crew. So shout out to them. Let's get started, guys. I'm so excited because I found out this week that Missy Elliott is being nominated for Missy Elliott is going to be nominated for Songwriters Hall of Fame, and she's going to be the first female rapper, if she wins, and then she's the first female rapper to get it. She says that it says that if Missy is inducted, she will join Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri as the only rappers to receive this achievement. Jay was inducted in June 2017, and Jermaine Dupri followed in 2018. One of the things that Missy Elliott has said is a lot of people don't know a lot of the records that I've written or produced. So that's a highlight for me as a woman. I always said if a man would have done half the records that I've done, we would know about it. But we don't know all the records I've done for other artists. Something that I thought that was pretty cool was that songwriters may qualify for induction into the Hall of Fame 20 years after their first commercial release of a song. So I think about the artists that have come out today or even maybe in the past 8 years and think about man, imagine in 20 years they can be inducted into this, but some of them don't write their shit. So no. I think it's pretty cool because it's not just hip hop. There's other artists Mariah Carey is also going to be nominated. Monica, Cat Stevens, John Prine, Lloyd, Prince, Dean, Dillon, and many more as performing nominees. Throughout her career of 20 years, the rapper has penned songs for the late Aaliyah, Beyonce, and Janet Jackson, to name a few. So this is going to be taking place. This is actually the 15th annual induction, and it's going to be taking place June 13th. So good luck to Missy Elliott. She's going to be, if she is inducted, then she will be the first female rapper to do so, and I'm here for it because, we all here for these women and these women who are out here making moves. So shout out to Missy Elliott for even being nominated with greats like Monica and Mariah Carey. And I also found out this week that Kendrick Lamar is confirmed to appear on the Creed 2 soundtrack, which is curated by Mike Will made it. Sorry. And I'm pretty excited because Kendrick was a part of the Black Panther soundtrack, and he was the biggest influence on. Yeah, he was the executive producer of it, right? And killed it because I've still listened to that soundtrack until now, and I'm really excited because so Mike Will made it is the one who's basically curating it. it's not the Creed 2 soundtrack, it's the Creed 2 the album. So I think that's even cool. I've always liked when movies have really dope soundtracks, and Black Panther was the last soundtrack that I really liked, and so I'm really looking forward to this soundtrack because I know the people who are behind the movie are really they're influenced by the hip hop culture. So that's another dub for, the hip hop culture. Already confirmed to be part of the soundtrack are Nicki Minaj, Lil Wayne, Rick Ross, Kodak Black, Eminem, and most recently Pharrell. And so it just kind of made me think, like, could Creed 2 the album be another great soundtrack like the Black Panther one? And with the people who are going to be featured on this album, I would say so. I also found out today that the Black Panther album, it was like one part was for Killmonger and the other part was for the Black Panther. And I've listened to that album so many times and I did not know that. So I thought that was pretty dope. And one of the things also is that since Ryan Coogler, which is the director of the movie, he is from the Bay Area, he made sure that a lot of the Bay Area was influenced in the soundtrack. So I thought that that was pretty cool to find out. One of the main reasons why today's episode is named what it's named, which is Enter the 41 Chambers, is because Wu-Tang is celebrating the 25th anniversary of the Enter the Wu-Tang 36 Chambers. And I found out because they announced this documentary that they have called For the Children, which is celebrating their 25th anniversary of that album, and it features A$AP Ferg, A$AP Rocky, Joey Badass, and ODB's son, as well as Gary V. And they were just featured on there, like, kind of talking about it. And one of the things that I thought was so cool was ODB's son looks exactly like him. Have you guys seen his son? Well, I made have watch it, and he looks exactly like him. What they do is that it's like a scene that the son and somebody else, they're like playing chess. And what I liked that the director did, which was you know how there's a black piece and then there's a white piece in the chess game. Well, the white piece was yellow, and then so they had like Wu-Tang stuff on, and then like they kind of like made the yellow stand out in the picture, and it was just pretty. It was dope, and then they made him perform, and he did it just like his dad, and that shit was dope as fuck. So, the documentary is only like 17 minutes long, which I was pretty sad about because I was kind of expecting a little bit more, but I felt like they did such a good job because in the beginning they had like a samurai, they had, and then they had, different people who are just like Wu-Tang fans talking about it. And so I know that there goes a lot of production into that. So for the time that we did get, I felt like it was done very well. The person who directed it was Shomi Patwari, which is the director for the video by Offset Ric Flair Drip. So that was pretty cool to see him kind of do a different type of directing, more than just a music video. And for it to be something like that, I felt like it was pretty cool. One of the things that I got to learn as well was kind of like how, like, I already knew that RZA was like a genius when it came to like producing music, and like, but I also got to find out that in one of the snares that he uses in one of the songs, it wasn't like an actual instrument. He just put the microphone inside of like a painting bucket, and he just used a ruler and he would like hit it, and then that's one of the sounds that you hear in the album. And it just like, and then one of the things that A$AP Ferg said was just kind of like, it's like you felt like these people made these beats in the sewer. Right? And then that like goes into like the whole thing of like the sound and the era of what they were trying to do. And then it inspired me to watch the Drink Champs episode when Wu-Tang shows up, and it was crazy because as I'm watching like Wu-Tang on there, I'm looking at EFN and I'm like, bro, EFN was literally like on this show. Like, what the fuck? And he was with Wu-Tang, and not just Wu-Tang, but like with other people. And I felt very, very blessed and very grateful to not just have had him on the show, but to also be building a relationship with him, which is crazy because like I've said before, I used to always want something like Drink Champs when I would watch it, and then for me to not only know somebody from there but also be in one of the episodes. Well, I wasn't like in the episode. I got to see the episode, like, you know, being recorded or whatnot. Still waiting for. Y'all go. House says that we might end up being like in the scenes and stuff. So hopefully your girl looks right. One of the things that they said in the movie was, well, in the documentary, was if you don't plant seeds, it won't last forever. And that's one of the things that they say is for the children. The documentary is because this is like, the Wu-Tang has been around for, well, this album has been around for 25 years, and it's an album that continues to like, I guess, go with the time, and it just doesn't go away. Like I talked about last week in the episode when I went to Rock the Bells, that there was a man who was probably like 50 years old who was throwing up the W, you know, screaming at the top of his lungs, you know, just being so passionate when Wu-Tang was performing, and just like it just like that. And then, but also seeing that people, like even the younger generation, likes Wu-Tang, and because at the end of the day, that's what you want. That's something that I was talking about with Spitz, is that hip hop is timeless. And so you want something that from 25 years ago, if you can still listen to it now, then hip hop and that album has done its job. So something else that I found out that they have done is that they also announced a new makeup collection with a New York based makeup company, which is called Milk. And they have Tiana Taylor as the face of it. Hey. I love Tiana Taylor. She's awesome. I saw the because they have like a promo video for it, and Tiana Taylor can do no wrong. Like, Tiana Taylor can do everything. Like, she did some karate shit in the video. She, like, I don't know. She can do no wrong. I feel like the way that she just like promoted, like, and it was lipstick, you know? So it's 8 different lipstick colors inspired by the 8 trigrams of the ancient Chinese philosophical text, the I Ching. Oh man, that's funny. But yeah, so there's gonna be 8 different shades. I'm not going to lie. I saw how much that lipstick cost, and I will not be buying it. But I'm very happy that Wu-Tang is coming out with, you know, their own makeup line. It's just lipstick. It's not like a whole. They're not, you know. Don't worry, Rihanna. They ain't coming for your bag, girl. But it is just lipstick. But I did see how much the prices were, and I'm not a lipstick girl, so I won't be buying it. But shout out to that. Like, what other hip hop artists can really say that they have, that's not a woman, say that they have a makeup line or a lipstick line like that? I think that's pretty dope. And for something else that I found out as well was that November 9th is officially Wu-Tang Clan Day in Staten Island, which is when the album dropped in 1993, which is crazy as fuck because I feel old hearing that 1993 was like 25 years ago. But yeah, so one of the things that I really like about like that, you know, they have their own day or whatnot, is just kind of like, you know, who like historical figures have their own day in their own, like, you know, city or their own whatnot, and then for Wu-Tang to have their own day and, you know, where they're from, I think that's pretty dope. And so speaking of, did you guys know that Rick Ross recently had a kid? Well, his lady had a kid, their second child. Well, he named the baby Billion. Like $1 billion. I thought that was pretty funny because isn't that what Khaled calls himself? Billy? Like Billy for billionaire. And I get the whole, like, I don't know, because, okay, first of all, we have people calling their kids Chicago, you know, different names, so we can't really, but like Billion, I felt like for Billion was so, how do you call it? Like speaking it into existence kind of thing. And then I feel that whole, like, you know, speaking into existence, and even with your kids, because if you really think about it, if Rick Ross plays his cards right, he becomes a billionaire and his kid is going to be the one who basically inherits that, which I think is pretty cool, because when you're a hip hop artist, it's not just about you at the moment, it's about for your future generations, because you kind of want to break the stigma that has happened in your family of being broke, or, you know, being from the hood, or coming from nothing. You know, you're going to have once you're in the music industry and you've made a good amount of money, your kids are not going to come from that the same that you came from. That's something that Ti has shed a lot of light on in his show. Is kind of like, listen, like, yeah, y'all got it made. I didn't have it that way. Like, I really had to work hard for this. So his full name is Billion Leonard Roberts. And it's actually the second child that him and his lady have had. I forgot the daughter's name, but I know her middle name is Hermes, which I think is awesome. I don't know. I love Rick Ross. Well, what? I think it is. I think it is. Well, no, his last name is Roberts. So his first name has to be something else. I just can. It's not Rick, right?
No, it's not.
Is it? Can we get a fact check on that? But
Meek Mill got like the same name but different.
well, I think Meek Mill's name is actually Robert.
Yeah.
William Leonard Roberts. So they have the same middle name. That's pretty cool. That's dope. I like that. So we're on the same subject as the kids. Gabrielle Union Wade and Dwayne Wade welcomed their miracle baby girl via surrogate on Wednesday. I found this out when we were shooting the video. Oh, the video for my set that we dropped today on WCW TV by Hav and Spitz. Your girl finally makes her debut. Hey. But yeah, so back to the subject. We'll talk about that video a little bit later. But yeah, so Gabrielle Union, they had their baby via surrogate, which I think is beautiful, especially since I found out that Gabrielle has endured several miscarriages. To be exact, she's gone through 9 miscarriages. If you don't know what a miscarriage is, it's basically you're pregnant and you lose the baby for whatever reason. One of the things that I read was that people blame the fact that, you know, she put her career first for a lot of her life. So she is just like, oh, well, you're too old. Like, you know, that's why you can't have kids. And in some part, that's very true, because if I'm not mistaken, after the age of 37, like, it's not too safe for a woman to have kids, but she kept getting pregnant. The only thing is that she kept getting miscarriage. And so people would like say, oh, well, it's because you put your career before, you know, your family and having a family. And I feel like this is something that Ahav and I have spoken about, is this kind of like when you're in a relationship, people see it as more stability, and then when you have kids, it's like the kid brings more stability to the marriage. I guess it's kind of like a domino effect, because like even people who are married, it's like as soon as they get married, it's just like, well, when are you guys gonna have kids, or why haven't you guys have kids yet, or you know, there's always like that question of like, it's kind of like, okay, you get married, you get the house, and you have kids, and then this and this and that, and it's just kind of like, but sometimes it's not that easy, as you can see with Gabrielle Union. So one of the things that I also found out was that she has adenomyosis. I sounded that out perfectly. But yeah, so it's a condition where the inner lining of the uterus breaks through the muscle wall of the uterus. I've never experienced a miscarriage, but I have had someone very, very close to me who has experienced 2 of them. And for one, I know that it's not easy. And for her to have gone 9 times and like have miscarried a baby, I can only imagine the pain that she has gone through. And not just her, but like the people around her. Because we also have to remember the family. Like, you think about you know, because Dwayne Wade does have his own sons that they raised together because he has full custody of them. Like, think about like they see like her pregnant, you know, and then it's just like she loses a baby. And then not only that, her mother sees like, why can't my daughter have a child? Like, why is my daughter, you know, going through all of these different things? Because one of the things that she also shared is that she's gone through IVF, which IVF is one of the procedures that women have to go through when it's hard for them to get pregnant. So she would have to go through that, and that takes a really big toll on one's body. So having to see that as a mother, even Dwayne Wade is a basketball player. He's an all-star. You know, and that's something that we also forget too. I forget as well, is that these people, I was about to say artists, because but but just the people in general, because it's basketball players, it's rappers, it's tennis players, it's everybody. We forget that these are people, and they actually go through the same things that we go through. And not only are they going through these, but they also have to kind of like uphold the position of being an actress or being a basketball player or even being a rapper or whatever it is that they're doing that's out in the limelight. And they're also dealing with all of these things. Like, imagine going out and then like people seeing you pregnant, and then it's just like, oh, I thought you were pregnant, and then now like you're having like, it's not even like so much of like what other people are saying, but it's just kind of like they're going through it, but they're going through it in a bigger, broader lens, so a lot more people are seeing it. So it just, I'm just so happy that that they had the baby via surrogate. One of the things that I saw was just kind of like, because it's a real conversation. A lot of women go through this, and then one of the reasons why her voice is so big and why her voice is so important is because she is one of the first people to openly talk about it as much as she has talked about. She talked about it in her book. She talks about it in like any chance that she gets to, because not enough women are talking about it. Another woman who talks about it as well is Serena Williams. Not miscarriages, but she talks about like the difficulties that you have when you get pregnant or whatnot. So Cardi B signed an estimated $10 million sneaker deal with Reebok. She's set to promote the Reebok Aztec sneakers and feature in future Reebok campaigns. When I found this out, I was like, oh snap. And I heard that it was more money than 10 million that she was getting. But and then you start to think, because you're kind of like, Reebok, because like right now the what's in the forefront at least is Nike and Adidas, at least when it comes to like the hip hop culture or whatnot. But we also tend to forget that Reeboks were popping. They were popping back in the day, or they were popping. So one of the things is that they're bringing back that retro look. And then if you see the shoes that she's basically promoting first, they're kind of like going with the whole dad sneaker look that like a lot of people are going for, and even companies are shooting for. So they're bringing that shoe back. And I don't know if like it's gonna be like the same thing as far as like she's gonna come out with her own like a whole like Cardi B Reebok line. Like, I don't know if that's what's going on, but I did hear that we're gonna be seeing more of that happening in like December-ish. So that's pretty cool. I haven't been on Instagram, so I don't really know what's going on with Cardi B and Nicki Minaj. I don't know if anything else popped. Like, I don't think so. That's the third time they said that. Because last time they had squashed it. Like, I don't know. But I hopefully that's done with. One of the things that I heard about this week that kind of really made me sad was that YG got into an accident. I was really hurt. Did you guys hear about that? Like, YG got into an accident. I like, as soon as I found out, I googled it, and I found out that it wasn't him who got into an accident. He was in the Uber, and the Uber basically like drove into like a house and like, crushed the car. And then I found out that Tekashi was saying that he was chasing him, and that's why he got into the accident. I don't like Tekashi. I don't like him at all. I later found out some news about him too, that it was kind of like, cause you just don't say that. Like, there's just what he said like was so dumb. Like, but Spitz, you would like Tekashi, cause he's like,
Bro, that was funny.
What? That he said that he was chasing him.
Hilarious.
That's why Tekashi got shot at. You like Tekashi too? Of course, y'all fools like Tekashi.
That's Carlos's cousin. It's entertainment. He's harmless to me.
He's what?
He's harmless.
He's harmless. He's a troll.
He's just trolling people.
Yeah, but the thing is that.
He's using it to his advantage.
But okay, like, that's something great, awesome, happy for you. But at the same time, there's some motherfuckers out here who don't take that shit like a joke, and they'll run up on your dumb ass. You know what I mean? Like, straight up. Like, and then that's the thing. Like, you get to a point where you are like, oh, it's all funny and it's all cool. But then once you get ran up on and then someone shoot up at you, it's just like, oh, it was just a joke. Like, but this pistol ain't. You know what I mean? Like that's something that but y'all know how I feel about that shit in hip hop. Like I don't think that none of that dumb shit is necessary. Like all you gotta do is just make music, you know, and like be a positive role model for these kids. Like, cause at the end of the day, that's what a lot of these kids are seeing. That they're seeing how he acts, they're seeing what he's doing, and they think that that's how they're gonna get on. So now, what are we gonna get? We're gonna get a whole generation of rappers that are doing that shit. I don't want that. You know what I mean? Like that's not what hip hop's about. I'm sorry. Hip hop, like in the words of my friend KRS-One said, is about love, peace, and unity. That ain't no love, peace, and unity, my friend. I'm sorry. Um, On to a positive note. So Meek Mill covered the cover of Double XL for the fall issue of 2018. And he wrote a letter to his 16-year-old self about perseverance and race in America. And I've written a letter to my 17-year-old self. You can find it on my blog. I'll be sure to leave the link.
Really?
I did. I felt okay.
What does it say?
Basically, like, don't pay attention to the dumb shit. You know, like, like kind of like, you know, listen to your mom more. You know, like just things like that, because like I felt like when I was 17 years old, like I knew that when I was 17 that this is what I wanted to do, like what I'm doing right now, but my life didn't go that way. And also to like not really care what other people would say, because I remember in high school, like people, when I tell them that I'm shy, they never believe me. I don't know why, but I am. Like I'm shy in a sense that I'm not like super social. Like I can't always like go and like just like have full blown conversations with people. I don't know, but yeah, just should not give a fucking to just to be yourself. So Meek Mill did do his. I wanted to share some of the highlights that I saw from this letter. First, I just want to say that Meek can write like a beast. Like this letter is not the same letter. Does not look anything like the letter I wrote. Tell you that much. But yeah, so one of the things that he says is heavy is the head that wears the crown. It's free to dream, but nothing is more expensive than achieving them. I repeat, nothing is more expensive than achieving your dreams. Trust, you will get yours. You will set the rap game on fire. What if I told you that you will record with Mariah Carey, or that you'll buy a Ferrari after copping the Rolls Royce? That fly shit is cool, but you want to know what tops it all? Mom never having to worry about money again because you believed in yourself. The countless times she risked it all to feed you in Nashima won't be in vain. But I can't stress enough how much it costs to be a young leader. Costs even more to be a young black leader. One of the things that he says was, you just have to stay the course, especially in the face of evil adversity. What those cops did to you was disgusting. Attempting to erase our future before it started is just the devil at work. But I have news for you. It won't be the last time American law enforcement tries to impede your progress. The thing is, unlike most of the sea of black and brown people unfairly assaulted and incarcerated by bad police, you have the biggest voice. You have the ability to turn your mugshot into a flashlight that exposes an incredibly unjust judicial system. Know that a clear mission and perseverance is how you attain the honor of representing both black excellence and inequality. Those things right there. One of the things that I love the most was, you have the ability to turn your mugshot into a flashlight that exposes an incredibly unjust judicial system. I feel it's like what he's doing ever since he got out of jail. I feel like that's what Meek has been doing, is basically like using what he has gone through and using the platform that he has to kind of shed light on, like, okay, yeah, you can wrongfully get go into jail for something, but you can't, that's not who you are. Like at the end of the day, once you're out and once you're free, like, you can make something of yourself. And so another thing that what he says is, the franchises which embrace hip hop will shine big. Guess which Philly rapper will have the ears of tomorrow's pro ballers and all stars? The one that players and fans see fighting as hard as them. The one who makes anthems powerful enough to help spray a locker room with champagne. You know what song came to mind as soon as I read that? dreams and nightmare. Cause like when like that song is like a championship song. That like, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, what that makes me want to get a bottle of champagne and just start like celebrating like I won the championship ring. You know what I mean? And then it's just kind of like, and then it goes into like the whole football thing and about how what football is doing right now and like what it's standing for, or like the people who are not even watching football because for what it stands for and like all of this stuff. I won't get into all of that because I have a really big hardcore football fan. A really hardcore football fan who's sitting here who I'm pretty sure was watching football in the beginning of the show, Jarrell. But yeah, so he said it's college. But yeah, so and then to close it, is it? No, I think I still have a couple of more. But it was like, always remember how to fight for food. I don't care if it's a prosecutor. I don't care if it's a prosecutor or a chart-topping rapper coming at your neck. Don't ever back down. You were put here to win and lead others to victory. And then the last part of the letter, which is, I know it's a lot to take in, but this is your calling. Kids everywhere and depending on your rhymes for representation. Think about how abandoned the folks sitting in jail for a crime they didn't commit feel. Think about how you felt. Then sprint towards your throne as if your life depended on it, because many other lives do. But remember, once you put that crown on, your gifts no longer serve you and your family alone. Your dreams will then belong to the world. But ain't this what you've been waiting for? And that was like the end of the that's one of the end of the letter. One of the things that I wrote down, like as far as my notes is freedom has constantly been challenged. He went from a rapper with the rules to a rapper with a voice. Which at the end of how I was talking about with like the whole like Tekashi and like all that stuff is like, okay, yeah, he's done what he's done, and because I'm pretty sure that Meek has had beef with somebody, or I'm tripping. Drake. He's had beef with Drake. But Drake ain't gonna do nothing. You know, like, I'm sorry, like, he's not. But that's kind of like, dang. So Drake has had beef with Pusha, with Meek, but they squashed it. We covered that when they squashed the beef, that because Meek came out when Drake performed in Philly. So that was pretty dope. And so yeah, so like he has a voice, and that's one of the things that artists need to remember, is that a lot of people are listening to what you're saying, whether it's good or bad. So make sure that what you're saying is good, so that way the outcome of what your music and what your message is good as well. Speaking of which, Offset album is set to release on December 14th, 2018. Which is this year. Last week I spoke about Takeoff's album, which I am still listening to and loving. That's Bae right there. Freaking love that album. I saw something yesterday that spoke about who was the best Migo. Shout out to Complex for doing that. And I found, is it Genius? It is Genius. Genius is the one who did that. But yeah, they basically like did this whole thing of like who was the best Migo, and they showed like the numbers, and Quavo obviously had the highest numbers when it came to having the songs on the billboards, and then it was Offset, and then it was Takeoff. But Quavo and Offset both have agreed that Takeoff is the better rapper. So hey, so yeah, so it's gonna be the third release of all of their single releases. So I think that's pretty cool, because Quavo already came out with his, then Takeoff, and then Offset. One of the things that I did see was that Cardi claimed she cried listening to it, and I said this a little earlier, but I don't know about all that crying shit. Because I heard some of the Quavo album, I didn't cry, and and I heard the Takeoff album, none of that either. And I don't know if it's because maybe he like says something, maybe he talks about like his love for her or something like that. I'm really curious to see what Offset would say that made her, get a little emotional. Actually, I like Takeoff and Offset, like those two are my favorite. Takeoff is first. What would you say, Carlos? Offset? Jarrell? Jarrell's the one who said that Takeoff is the Kelly. The Kelly of Destiny's Child. Oh, the Michelle, because Kelly is like the second. Kelly is Offset.
Yeah, I would say Quavo.
You?
Offset.
Offset. Woo. Have you guys heard his album though? Takeoff's album?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you still feel that way?
Oh,
No, I guess it's just like I'm so obsessed with that I'm obsessed with like just the album. One of the songs that I've heard this past week that I really like is Dangerous. It's Dangerous by Meek Mill. I really like that song. It's dope.
I haven't heard that one. Ooh, is it new?
Yeah, it's the one with PNB and Jeremiah.
That shit hard as fuck.
But you know what's crazy is that I didn't know that it was PNB. I swore that it was Ty Dolla $ign. And then when I found out that it was PNB, I was just like, Merp, I guess. But it makes me want to listen to him. So that's one of the things that I love is that you hear an artist on a song and then you're like, I want to hear more of this person. Like, who is this person? I need to hear more of them. Damn, I just remembered something from Wu-Tang was is that Wu-Tang was the first group to have the group signed to a label, and also the group, like the first group to have like everybody have their own individual what is it, record company, like contracts. To have their own record contracts, you know, basically like have their own stuff. That's pretty cool. Another thing was they're going to be coming out with an album, like a remake of the Enter the 36 Chambers, and they're gonna have 9 different artists from this era, basically you know, representing each of the members of the Wu-Tang to remake the album, which I think is pretty cool. That shout out to shit like that, bruh. Like shit like that, it just like makes me like believe in like hip hop and where it's going. Shit like that, just like and then like even artists like ASAP Ferg to be like Joey Badass and like artists like that. I have a feeling that those are some of the artists who are going to be on there. I feel like stuff like that is just that shit just needs to, we need more of that, and we need like, you know, maybe even some shit like A Tribe Called Quest and like, you know, those type of albums as well. Kind of like show this generation like, hey man, like look, this is what the fuck hip hop is. You know, this is it, and this is like what's, you know, this is where we come from pretty much, because you never know where you're going unless you know where you're coming from. And to kind of close off the topics that I had, is Jennifer Lopez and Bad Bunny came out with a new song and video called Te Guste. And one of the things that I saw from this video, and then I was just thinking about it, was number one, I was thinking about when JLO was doing songs with, you know, a lot of people in the hip hop industry, like I'm Real, and then even the song with like Big Pun and Fat Joe, and she had a lot of like LL Cool J. She was with, you know, she's always been a person who is just kind of like, can we get JLo on the song? You know, and I feel like Bad Bunny is already at the time in his career where he can get a song with JLo. But I just was thinking about Bad Bunny was born in Puerto Rico, has probably known about Jennifer Lopez as long as she's been out because she is also Puerto Rican. So imagine like growing up, probably being in love with JLo. She's like the queen of where you're from, you know, being Puerto Rican, and then you get to do a song with her. And then it's just like, that just made me see how beautiful music really is, because it could, from one moment, it can be like you're just a kid who's doing music for people. And then the next is just like you're doing music with somebody who has made such an impact, not just in like in the hip hop, in the Hispanic community, but also in the hip hop community. Because like I said, she's done songs with different artists, and then she's also doing a song, you know, with Bad Bunny. As I said a couple episodes ago that I said that Bad Bunny's growing on me? Yeah, so this song kind of got me too. I like his part. The video is awesome. JLo's body, I don't know. She's on the A-Rod plan, that's for sure. Because she's on the A. She's on the A. She's on the A-Rod plan for cheesy. Like, that body is so gold. Like, that body, when I saw that video, I was just like, thank God I haven't had French fries. Like, cause Jesus, I want to get there. And I guess to like just kind of like close it off and like I'm freestyle it a little bit for you guys. So this week we shot the video for My Set by Hobbin Spitz. It was pretty cool because, like I said earlier, your girl got to be in the video. I got my own time in the video. I was so excited. I was like, oh shit, bitch, what? I'm always trying to be in the videos and they've let me be in the videos, but it wasn't like this video. This video was like, I wasn't ready for it, but the song, I was so hyped, like listening to the song, and then I remember just like hearing the song, and like I remember just seeing myself in the video, and I wasn't even planning on being in the video, but I guess because they told me like, oh, you know, it's gonna be like, you know, people in there, and then I was just like, I gotta go and I gotta represent and wear my WT shirt then, you know what I mean? And so I put it on, and then I'm like, and I'm getting my outfit together, and I'm just like, I gotta be in this video, like somehow, some way, I'm gonna make it, and I ended up making it. So I'm really cool because Hav and I, in one of the parts, me and Hav have like our own little part, and then I get my own little part where I get to kind of like show my moves, and it's crazy because yesterday I love listening to music on YouTube at work, and one of the things that that always pops up in like my playlist is videos from WT Saturdays, and one of the videos that popped up was what is it, Fly Now? Mm-hmm. Fly Now popped up, and I was like, holy shit, that was 8 months ago. Fly Now was 8 months ago yesterday. And I think I saw, no, that wasn't that one. Cause I saw another one for Diamonds, and Diamonds at the end of the video, there's like promo for Weekend in LA. There's promo for Burgundy, and there's also promo for the Ambition Hour podcast, and it's episode 20. Bruh, that's 21 episodes ago. What the fuck? That is so crazy. Like, I just can't. What's funny is that I'm about to be working at my job for a year this week that's coming up. And I've been doing this podcast for a little bit less than a year. I would say, well, in January it's going to be a year, so it's 10 months that we've been doing this. And now is when like more and more of my coworkers are finding out that I do a podcast, and it's so nerve-wracking because it's like, for me, I never wanted to talk about it because I didn't want people to be like, oh, she thinks she's cool because she got a podcast. And it's like that was always my mentality. But now that I guess like I'm 41 episodes in, it's kind of like I don't even give a fuck. Like, yeah, I do a podcast, and yeah, I do it every single Saturday, and yeah, you should subscribe to the YouTube channel. By the way, if you have gotten this far in the episode and you have not already subscribed, you need to make sure that you subscribe. That way you cannot just always see every Ambition Hour podcast that we post, but as well as the music videos. We do drop a new song, a new video, and a new podcast every single Saturday. If you are not already subscribed to the YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button as well as the notification bell. If you are listening to us on SoundCloud and you are not following us, please go ahead and follow us, as well as Apple Podcasts. Go ahead and, you know, hit the follow on all of the platforms. Like I said earlier, the WT Records website, that one has everything. You can literally go to WTWrecords.com, and that has the link to everything. You can get albums, you can get podcasts, you can buy a sweater while you're at it. It's getting cold out there. You're gonna need it. You're gonna need it. And why not be dubbed out? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, and so yeah, so that's one of the things that I would always struggle with, was like talking about like having my own podcast. And I guess like since we're in episode 41, it's like, it's, you know, it's necessary. It's necessary. I need these people to know. I need y'all to know that I'm here. I ain't going nowhere. And the Ambition Hour podcast has been such a blessing for me. And I know the boys, like, I know for them, like, I don't know. I see it. I see how they feel about it, and the reason why I keep going, honestly, is because I see the passion that they have when it comes to the future for the podcast. Like, it's not just me who sees it. Like, and that's one of the things that's so important, is to have people around you who also who believe in your vision. Because if you're around people who don't believe in your vision, shout out to the sweaters. I'm telling y'all, y'all need to get them sweaters. It's getting cold. We all need sweat. I need a sweater. Not right now because it's hot as hell. But shout out to the new room that we got. I'm so excited about this room. It's a blessing. But yeah. So yeah, the Ambition Hour podcast. I'm really excited. I'm really blessed. That honestly, that's all I really have for you guys today. I'm very grateful. Like I said earlier in the episode, I'm really grateful that we have been doing this already for 41 episodes. I'm grateful for all of the ups and downs. I'm grateful for all the stuff that I feel like I haven't all the stuff that I've learned, and even just speaking well and articulating myself better and actually thinking before I speak sometimes. So yeah, I just want to say thank you for that. Is there anything that I'm missing? Maybe you guys have something that I can say that kind of popped off this week. Nothing, Javier?
Well, the thing with
Whew.
SoundCloud getting.
So one of the things that Javier was explaining to me was something about SoundCloud, and how SoundCloud is basically making that you can get paid directly from them, right? And it's kind of like there's gonna be like their own record company, I guess you can say. So one of the things that he was explaining to me was like the whole like 90-10 percentage like earnings or something like that. I'm probably gonna do a little bit more research on that, but I think that that's gonna be really good, because one of the other things that I also was reading was this is the era for the SoundCloud rapper, I guess you can say. And SoundCloud is allowing a lot of these artists to have their own platform where people, their coworkers, people on the street can go and listen to their music and stream their music, and based off of that they can see, okay, this song is popular, this song is not popular, or people are really feeling this. And I've heard a lot of the artists that have come onto the Ambition Hour podcast have music on SoundCloud. We have the Ambition Hour podcast on SoundCloud. So SoundCloud is a very big platform, not just for myself, but it is for other people as well, like artists. And so for them to kind of have like that, like taking that direction into the company, I think is pretty cool. And if you're already on SoundCloud, this is going to be good for you. So make sure that you inform yourself on what it is, the changes and everything that SoundCloud is going to be doing. Is there anything else?
XXXTentacion dropped a song.
Straight from the grave. Is it?
It's number 3 on the chart.
R.I.P. It's number 3 on the Apple charts. You know what? I'm gonna look at the Apple charts because I was gonna do that earlier. Let me see.
Also, Lil Peep dropped the song.
I did. He dropped an album or a song?
An album.
An album. Let me see.
How do you say that word?
Posthumously?
Yeah.
Homoniously?
Something like that.
I don't know. We could look it up. Oh, right now I just saw it's number 2. It's number 2, Bad by Triple X. Yeah.
Yo, I actually fucked with Moonlight. Crazy, like Moonlight was like up there with me. Like I like Sad's dope, but like Moonlight was like, I still listen to Moonlight, to be honest with you.
For me, it's none of the above, but that's just me.
Have you guys seen the Khalif Browder documentary?
I want you to commentate on that right there.
Wait a minute. So 21 Savage said lonely. I need a girlfriend who like 2K and guns. First of all, I just saw someone who liked this. That's funny. Here you go. But yeah, so that's pretty funny that 21 Savage is saying that. Is there a reason why you showed me that?
I just wanted you to get your reaction on that.
First of all, 2K ain't none of y'all boys letting us play no damn 2K. Y'all
2K a problem if you're dating a guy, or video games in general, or is it specifically 2K because they act like they don't know your ass for playing 2K?
I mean, from past experience, when my ex would play video games, I would just chill with him. I never really cared. I was just like, while he was playing games, I would just like, chill with him and just be next to him. Sometimes I would bug him, but whatever. I never played. I never got to play. I never got that chance. But yeah, I don't really care about that. But oh yeah, Spitz was asking me questions earlier. You want to ask me one now?
Oh yeah. So we got the 90s and 2000s and this decade right now that should end in 2020. So we would pick out of those eras of hip hop the person that you think ruled those decades, like the artist.
So the 90s Biggie, 2000s Kanye, now Kendrick. Bam. I was ready. I was ready, Fetty. But yeah, so that was Spitz was asking me questions earlier, and it was cool because he like ended it with the whole voting. And this past week it was the midterm elections, the voting for that, and I was telling him how there's like a recount or whatnot. I also saw that I've been voting for a very long time, since 2008. I've been voting. So everybody who voted this past week, shout out to you. Make sure that next time there is a chance to vote, you go ahead and vote. Let me see. Okay, so did you guys hear about that song by Ariana Grande, the Thank You Next? I guess like when she's talking shit about the dude.
No.
That song is number 1.
What dude?
I don't know if she's talking shit, but Pete, the one that she was engaged to,
He said some Wait, shit. Hold on. So can somebody speed me up? I haven't been on.
they're not together anymore.
Wow.
They were engaged,
Wow.
and then they separated.
Really?
And then you and him are the only one that stood on the.
Javier said you and him.
Because he always got the lost face. His face always looks lost, like he doesn't know what's going on.
But yeah, so then I'm assuming that song is about that. Sicko Mode is number 3. Space Cadet is number 4.
What was Carlos's question? A documentary?
What was your question?
No, have you guys seen the Khalif Browder documentary?
I don't know who that is. Oh.
Reminded me of it because I just saw it. It's like been out.
Now that you say that name and you say like now I put 2 and 2 together. I haven't seen it, but it's good. He's the one who produced it, right? I know which one you're talking about. He also executive produced the one about Trayvon Martin. The one that was on
Jay-Z's behind that, no?
Yeah, he's behind both of them.
That Khalif Browder story, I don't know if I'm saying his name right, but that shit is sad.
It's sad. I mean, what's going on in America in general, and like it's pretty sad.
Meek, right? Because some like Meek,
But
basically they tried to.
They wrongfully tried him, yeah, and
like they're
but
trying to force the bid on him or something like that. Like they were trying to speed the process.
oh, so that way, and then yeah.
Happens a lot in America. That's why he's going so hard right now.
But is that the same one who like a couple weeks after he got out of jail and Jay-Z was kind of like, I'm here for you, that he ended up like committing suicide? That's the same one? Yeah, I heard Jay-Z talk about that when he was on David Letterman on the My Next Guest Is. That's a good. Have you seen that? You should guys out there, if you haven't seen it. I saw the Jay-Z one, and the Obama one was pretty cool cuz that's still my president. But yeah, that that Jay-Z one was pretty cool. Love Jay-Z. But shout out to Jay-Z for doing shit like that. I know that him and Beyonce, well, cause isn't he like signed to Rock Nation or something like that? Am I wrong? Yeah, he's like signed to Rock Nation or whatnot. So that's pretty cool because, bro, when I tell you, fucking Jay-Z, man. Fucking Jay-Z. Like, not only was he the first rapper to be inducted into the Writers Hall of Fame, but he's done so much, and he's done so much that we don't even see. Like, that's even crazier, and like what he doesn't get enough credit for. So shout out to that. Make sure that you check out all those things. Also, I finished the Charlamagne the God book, called Shook Ones. I learned a lot about mental health, and I'm not gonna make this segment about mental health, but you guys do know that I feel that mental health is really important, and being mentally strong and finding out your weaknesses, that way you can become stronger, is very important. So
Telling niggas to go see a therapist.
he is. And you know what? He goes to go see a therapist. He goes, like, I think he said that he goes at least 2 weeks. And I feel like if you're going to be telling people to go see a therapist, you should be going to a therapist as well, because we're all fighting demons and all this stuff. Are you not we're all fighting demons, bruh. We're all fighting demons. And some of us, we don't really know how to, fight them. And then so we turn to other things. And I think that's what we were talking about earlier, is like we don't know how to fight them. So we do turn to drugs, alcohol, strippers, all that shit. Because everybody has their vice. Just because yours isn't the same as mine, doesn't mean that we're not going through maybe something similar. So yeah, that whole mental health thing really had me thinking. I was thinking for like a hard week, that I wanted to go to a therapist. And I still feel that way. Right?
I wasn't messing with it.
You're not messing with going to go see a therapist?
Nah.
You don't feel that you would need that?
No, I just think I get that therapy through like my friends, my peeps.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
What about like music?
That too.
Like music?
There's other media.
But okay, so
you went to see one, or
no, he said
I went.
you went.
Yeah.
Oh, so you've actually experienced it. Okay, Carlos. You cool. How was that?
It was straight, but it didn't.
But okay, how many times did you go? Twice. And you went to the same person. Okay, so something that I did learn in the book was that sometimes the first person that you go to isn't always going to be the best one. So something that not Charlamagne, because what he has is he has a therapist who is doing the clinical correlation for each thing that he talks about. And the therapist was basically saying, like, now I'm not telling you this so that you can go to it. Like, I'm not saying you need therapy, bro. I'm just saying, like, that this is something.
One of my good friends is a therapist.
Yeah, and then so like you go to like different therapists to see which one is best for you, because it's kind of like a trainer, like a personal trainer, or even a church. You go to a personal trainer, and the personal trainer, like, is good, but maybe not good enough for you. You might have to go with somebody else, because that personal trainer is just not going to do it for you. Just the same with like a church. You might go to a church and you might not like it, but it's because you're not really connecting with that church. You might be connecting with another one. My whole thing is that the whole thing with the friends, because I feel the same way too. Like, I feel like I have my mom that I can talk to about anything. I have my best friend that I can talk to. I have Javier. I feel like I have you boys as well that I can talk to about anything. And then I do feel like when we have deep conversations, it's very therapeutic. But I just feel like there's just certain things that I will never tell you guys. And I will never tell my mom. And it's just things that I live with. You know what I mean? And I want to understand. And I keep trying to understand them on my own. You know what I mean? And then that's why, for me, I would go see a therapist. And then if I feel at the end that it's not for me, then it's not for me. But yeah, so that's pretty dope that he's also shedding that light, because honestly, a lot of people are reading that book because it's Charlamagne. And so a lot of people are going to take that information in because it's Charlamagne. Like, I honestly got the book because it was Charlamagne. Charlamagne is one of the biggest entertainment, like one of the people that has a voice, like, who's on radio, who has a podcast, who interviewed Kanye before he said the whole thing about Trump. You know what I mean? Like, produces shows, people like, bro, like people like Charlamagne and Charlamagne, and so for me, it's like, as if like Angie Martinez were to come out with another book, like I'm listening to it again, like it's the same thing. So, but yeah, so like, yeah, the Charlamagne book, if you want, go ahead and listen to it. I'm still doing my 28 days of no social media, and I'm still reading the book.
You listen to the book, or you read
I listen to audios. I listen to books. I listen to audios.
it? Like, listen in the car and shit?
I listen to it whenever. I listen to it like on my lunchtime. I try to have my own time. Like, I don't like have lunch inside. I have lunch outside. So then I listen to it in the headphones, or even if I'm cooking, or if I'm washing dishes, if I'm cleaning, doing my whatever. Like, and that's what I like about it, because I can do it at any time. I can't sit and read every day. Like, I would love to, but I can't, because I sometimes don't have time, but I do get that knowledge in because I'm listening to it. I've listened to a lot of books that way actually, and have that also teaches me on speaking on the show and stuff. So that about wraps up the episode. This is Enter the 41 Chambers on WTW Radio and WTW TV. This is your girl Audii 3000, and for the 41st time, I'm out. Bye, bitches.